Team that needs a little bit of magic is Arkansas. Top 10 team to start the season. 1-4 after the first month of the season. Remember, we were all up in arms when they lost to Louisiana Monroe. That started the slide. It has not been a pretty tenure for John L. Smith and Arkansas on Saturday. Just embarrassed by Texas A&M, 58-10. The Razorbacks now 0-2 in the SEC. That other loss, an embarrassing loss to Alabama, where they were shut out. They're turning the ball over. They've struggled offensively to protect the quarterback. The defense just hasn't been there. You know, we went into the season thinking, hey, okay, Bobby Petrino's not there, but John L. Smith is inheriting a pretty good team. That this Arkansas team is still deserving of a top 10 rating. Now, I think we're starting to wonder, with what we've seen from this team, would Bobby Petrino have even made a difference given the personnel Arkansas has this year?
Well, they lost a lot of guys, and I think the list is right over here. I think Stitch has it. But I'll say this. I am one sometimes in the past who have said if a team's good and a program's good, they can plug anybody in there. But now I'm going to get on Coach's good side, because I look at Arkansas and I look at the Saints and I say there's something to it, because you're not that much worse than you were a year ago. And with that head coach gone, there's a rudderless issue there. And there's something to it, because it can't just be a coincidence that we see it so many times when a coach leaves. You know, yeah, you've lost some personnel, but at the same time, if the guy's not there, sometimes I think the team doesn't know who to follow. Am I off here, football guys?
No, you're not off, and I think there's something to be said about, you guys know it's the whole chemistry part of it. And, you know, I always talk about you lose off the field and you win on it, meaning that you got to take care of business over there and eliminate, as Belichick says, the white noise. And what happens is you start getting chipped away out there, and it affects, you know, you make plays and do that thing on the field, but if you got all this noise going on, you guys know it's hard to concentrate. It's hard to stay with it. It's hard to keep your mojo.
When Coach went in here earlier, it was a mess. I mean, Stench was acting.
I didn't know what to do.
I was a second earlier. You weren't here. I mean, Stench was ridiculous.
I can't control him. He's bigger than me.
I understand what you're saying with that. And Ron, you mentioned that you were a USC #1 guy, and I wonder, and I mentioned this earlier, where'd you have Arkansas in your voting?
I had Arkansas like back half of the top 10. I wasn't.
So you were one of the.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I was an 8, 9, 10 guy. I wasn't a 4, 5, 6 guy.
Right, and again, and I think there's been a lot of coaching turnover, and I think we're learning that. I mean, that's something, you know, you look at Auburn, you know, when their offense defense coordinator left, you know, they've struggled. You look at Wisconsin, you know, they've struggled with their offensive defensive coordinator leaving. This coaching thing, there is something to it that I think we are now learning this in the process, because we've seen so much turnover in the coaching that these teams that we thought were pretty good, look, hey, plug another coach in there. These guys are talented enough. They got the same players. Throw any coach in there and they'll keep it rolling. And they just haven't.
You've got two teams though, huh? Auburn and Arkansas this week.
You've
got
seen
two
Arkansas
teams.
In person. What was your impression of this team?
I think it comes down. Players make plays. Coaches are important. Don't get me wrong, but players make plays. Yeah, I look at Auburn. Cam Newton, Nick Fairley made that football team what it was, I think. And you see now, and they're playing Auburn, incidentally, this Saturday, Arkansas is. What would have been interesting to see was Bobby Petrino with this roster, because this is a passing-oriented offense. They don't have their top 3 targets from the past 4 years. Kobe Hamilton and Chris Gregg were the guys that they had in the passing offense. Yeah. You get Niall Davis back, and he has been very hesitant in the run game. And Bobby Petrino was an offensive coach, and he doesn't make that defense any better than it was going to be. He hired Paul Haynes. He had a great job versus Kansas State in the bowl game. And then ever since, that defense has struggled. They lost Jericho Nelson. They lost Jerry Franklin. They lost Jake Beckett. It's personnel, I think, more than anything else that is driving the issues there. You changed your head coach. He was your play caller and a brilliant one, but he can't make your personnel any better than it already is. You got Tyler Wilson, and then what else do you have?
So you're saying the coaching doesn't matter?
And Tyler
I'm saying it does, but not as much as
Tyler Wilson's been banged up too.
Hey, see how that works?
No, I'm with you. It starts with players. I'm with you there.
You also need your players to step up and be leaders. And Tyler Wilson and Niall Davis, even if you're not playing well, you need to be the guy that steps out in front, because you're seniors. Everybody's looking at you. The thing with Auburn, will Kyle Frazier really now step up? This is an opportunity, no matter how bad Arkansas is, for Auburn to turn the corner on a game.
Yeah, Joey, you're going to call that game. Quick preview there.
Well, I think that you mentioned it, and you say you need your guys to step up. You don't have any leaders that don't make plays, and everyone always talks about leadership. Well, that begins with making plays, and I mentioned Auburn, having a chance to beat LSU late in the game, had a shot down the sideline that he missed, and that's one of those things that it is hard for him to be a leader if he's not going to be a playmaker. And a lot of these teams, they just don't have playmakers. I watch these guys play on film. Auburn looks slow on defense.
Yeah.
If they get one wrong step, they're beat, and that's tough to deal with. I think both of these teams need a win.
September to teams that are now ranked. They will not face a ranked opponent in the month of October, so a chance to make a move in the SEC West. The slow starts for both sides have not dampened the spirits of the faithful here on the Plains. Another packed house at Auburn. They won the toss and offered to kick it away to Arkansas to start out the festivities today. Cody Parkey will handle the kickoff duties this afternoon. Dennis Johnson, a very dangerous return man. He's the SEC career record holder in yards per return, but he will not get an opportunity here. Expectations for this unit prior to the season. Wilson has time and delivers to his favorite target, Kobe Hamilton, into Auburn territory.
That's all I would like to take all day. Mincy on Kobe Hamilton across the field. He can't hang with him. And Tyler Wilson has found a way all season long to get the ball in Kobe Hamilton's hands. Simple crossing route, and the defensive back has got to stay on top of that.
Defensive line, the numbers for Hamilton awfully good, almost 20 yards per catch, and a gaping hole for Johnson to roll through. He's inside the 20, and another Arkansas first down. This is the lowest scoring offense against the most forgiving defense in the SEC in the sack of Frazier.
For 200 yards, when you can do that, it opens up your entire offense. It opens up the play action. It'll allow Frazier to get more comfortable.
Down 6. Mason swallowed up. Yeah, Tom, the offensive line, two deeps, 9 of the 10 are underclassmen, and Frazier taking down the second sack of the day, Alonzo Highsmith.
A delayed blitz by Highsmith coming late allows the offensive line to, each guy looks away to go block someone else, and then Highsmith comes late.
Tyler looking that way, now checking back to the left. Wilson to the other Wilson. Now inside the 40 to the 35-yard line, who is guarding Hamilton. Underneath, they'll drop it off for Tate inside the 5, diving down to the 2-yard line. On their first 2 drives, trying to punch it in. Dennis Johnson, good second effort, breaks the plane, touchdown Arkansas. Able to punch it in, Dennis Johnson, capping it off, 10 plays, 80 yards in 4.5 minutes. Now it's Folsom at tight end and starting out in the backfield. Frazier with the pump fake, and he will be sacked for the 3rd time in this first half. Some of the folks down at Disney to help them improve and impress the fans when they come out to experience the entire football weekend. Surprise for Indiana, the Hoosiers getting down to business. Kyle Frazier, Henry Blake, and he loses the football. And the official saying it was a completion and a fumble.
For both of these teams, as you look, Frazier delivers a strike out to Blake. Again, he's got to see the linebacker coming behind him and punches this ball out. A really nice play by the defense here to play through the ball, punch the ball out, and it's a big play for Arkansas.
And this time he's true. 3rd and 10. Frazier, time, dancing around, now looking for some space, and he will be sacked for the 4th time today. Trey Flowers gets to him. 2-minute drill time here for Arkansas and Tyler Wilson. Johnson with the carry, bouncing it out to the outside, and a first down across the 45-yard line. Tyler Wilson sharp thus far, 13 for 15, a $144, and he's got another completion. Frazier looking that way, and it is intercepted by Will Hines, the juggling act.
Just talked about this ball is just overthrown, thrown into a bad area first off, but he overthrows this ball, and it's a play that the corner is going to make, most times. But a young quarterback in a 2-minute situation that has struggled all season long, it's going to be tough to go against a pretty okay defense, in a 2-minute situation at the end of a half, and he just overthrows this ball.
Stadium here at Auburn. It's 10-0 Arkansas with the lead over the Auburn Tigers as we get set to start the second half of play. Frazier was also sacked 4 times in that first half. Arkansas bringing more heat, and they will get Mosley, the 5th takedown of the day. Trey Flowers, the sophomore out of Huntsville, Alabama.
Now on Mosley. Now, this is a tough situation. Again, it's a 3rd and extremely long. There is no play for this, and there really is no play for this when you have a young quarterback that just...
Mosley. Blitz is coming. Flowers trying to take him down, and he does. 6th sack of the day.
Really starting to feel it now. Flowers knows it's a 3rd and long. That's when guys at defensive end like Flowers, who are long and rangy, have a chance to just pin their ears back and go after the quarterback.
2nd and 15, batted in the air.
Slapping down that pass there.
Blake is not out there right now for Auburn. Pressure coming, and Mosley goes down again.
Has come free. Now, this isn't on the quarterback because he doesn't even have a chance to get rid of this ball. Anytime they needed to go downfield for a big play, they have taken a sack. They've taken 7 sacks for a negative 72 yards in a struggling offense.
Down strike. Clint Mosley to Emory Blake. Tigers hanging around in a 10-7 Arkansas lead. In that 3rd quarter for the Razorbacks, we did not see Niall Davis in the game in that 3rd quarter for Arkansas. And Tyler Wilson picks up the first down here to start out the 4th quarter. Play action worked so well in the first half. Under pressure from Corey Lemonier, and the pass complete for another first down into Auburn territory to the big guy, Austin Tate, the 6'6" tight end. He is replacing the injured Chris Davis. They'll use Brandon Mitchell to block up. Quarterback to throw deep into the corner of the end zone for the touchdown. Javante Herndon on the receiving end. Mitchell, the former quarterback's turned wide receiver, throws it deep for 6.
About Coach Petrino being willing to have the confidence to have a double reverse receiver pass, and a great pass it was. Drops one, perfect play in the end zone for a touchdown.
Brandon Mitchell throwing it deep to Herndon, gets the 1 foot down, and it's back to a 10-point lead. Pressure coming all day from the Arkansas defense. 7 sacks today. Coming after Mosley again. Make it 8.
They were able to eliminate these negative plays, and here we have a mistake again by Miller, the right tackle, allows the guy to beat him to the inside and get to the quarterback. These are the plays that they have not been able to survive all day long, and here we have a 3rd and 12.
Mosley going to give to Blakely the ball. Arkansas's got it. 3rd takeaway for this Arkansas defense.
And Beth, yet another play where the running backs of Auburn, this time Blakely, has got to make a cut dealing with the defender in his own backfield. That's been a problem for this team all season long, and this time Arkansas is able to get enough guys around to rip that ball out.
And you can see how Arkansas is able to take advantage. Scoring on their last possession, this is Dennis Johnson. Run out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. Volsky, the motion man. Johnson looking for a seam, getting to the outside and in. Touchdown, Arkansas. Razorbacks running to the left behind that O-line, and good effort by Johnson to squirm in.
Concerned about the Auburn quarterback situation right now. You may have a fine player in Jeremy Johnson committed to the Tigers right now. I think he'll enter into the ESPN 300 by the season's end, maybe even the ESPN 150. In the Auburn class overall, very strong along the defensive front, and if you follow the football in the SEC, you know that championship games are built from the inside out.
Plus, Mosley intercepted in the end zone. Fourth takeaway today for the Razorback defense.
Offense. Again, Jones comes free, beats the guard, gets to the quarterback, and there's no way that ball is going to be complete. He just overthrows his receiver.
Alan Turner with the pick. The pressure coming from Byron Jones. This Arkansas defense only had 2 takeaways through their first 5 games. They've got 4 today. 31 yards on that pass play. Back to the air and to the end zone looking for Lutzenkirchen, and that ball is intercepted. The 5th takeaway of the day for the Arkansas defense.
They could go at Rasner, and here's a simple corner route. Rasner's underneath and gets up and makes a nice play with his hand and rips the ball away from the tight end. We talked about Lutzenkirchen earlier. Now this is a jump ball. This is a 50-50 ball that someone has to come down with, and Rasner does a great job of going up there with his hands high pointing the ball and coming down with the interception.
To 2-4, 1-2 in the SEC. The Auburn Tigers 1-4 now on the year, 0-3 in the conference for the Hogs. Now let's get you back to the studio and Wendy Nix to get you caught up to date on what's happening around the world of college football.